Arunachala, I hope I hope it'll be better. If there's any issue, flag me.
It's better now, sir.
Okay, I hope. So while we were doing this work on Sivaprakash Pillai, very interesting, very interesting topics came about. Based on his mananam, based on his just simple heart melting prayers to Bhagavan. They are simply beautiful. What else I can say? I mean, that's the kind of surrender we will understand. Oh, is this possible? Is this how we should do surrender to Bhagavan? We are able to understand from Shiva Prakasa Pillai's work in lot of in quite a lot of his compositions. And while I was again and again, I used to keep going through the composition. One theme repeatedly was featuring in a lot of places, which is surrender. Surrender, the way to surrender to Bhagavan. And number two, in one of the songs, there is a work called Seeking Bhagavan's Grace. Arul Vendal, it is called in Tamil. It's got about 36 songs. And the 29th song of I had the entire 36 songs by heart because I used to keep on repeating that because he's praying to Bhagavan. He's asking Bhagavan's grace in the entire composition. And the 29th song was particularly touching. I mean, in the sense, I used to, right from the start when I was reading, I used to have tears in my eyes when I read the song. In the song, he says, Bhagavan, I want to come to Tiruvannamalai and have your darshan, but I do not have money in hand to undertake the journey. I used to think, if I were there, I would have carried Sivaprakash Pillai in my shoulder and walked up. He used to lament and he used to cry to Bhagavan, saying that I did not. And what is the thing? We are talking about such a small amount to come from Chidambaram to Tiruvannamalai. He did not have even that. Half the time he will be sitting in some, in some crematorium, wherever, and keep doing his sadhana. So he cried to Bhagavan in this song, saying that I wanted to come. I want to come and have darshan of you in Tiruvannamalai, but unfortunately I don't have funds or I don't have any money to undertake the journey. And then he asks in the same song, the next line itself, are you not in me? Are you not in my heart, Bhagavan? Are you not? Well, which it's a rhetoric question where he says, are you not in my heart? It clearly means, yes, Bhagavan is in his heart. He says, the song goes like this, other than your feet, I have no refuge. So Prakasham Pillai starts by expressing his total faith in Bhagavan. I don't have money in hand to visit Tiruvannamalai and pay obeisance to you, Bhagavan. As he's totally retired from everything. He has never bothered to have any money, any work or whatever. His only activity in life was to do Atma Vichara the way taught by Bhagavan. Nothing else he did. He was totally dedicated. He has totally dedicated entire life. Such is the benchmark that we as sadhaks should have, whether we are able to 100% follow it or not. But our benchmark cannot be lower. Our benchmark cannot be somebody who will do something now, go off, do other works. And our benchmark should be always the highest benchmark, which is Sivaprakasam Pillai, Muruganar kind of benchmark. That's what we should have as a sadhak, as a devotee of Bhagavan. Bhagavan can never be called a benchmark in any way. That's Parabrahman. That's fire. So Sivaprakasam Pillai was like this. He was so totally dedicated into that he did not have he did not possess anything at all. If somebody feeds him, he'll eat. A lot of time he has mentioned that he has got empty stomach to sleep. He never bothered about that. His only keen interest was to realize the same. And then he says, "Oh Lord, are you not in my heart?" After saying, "I don't have money in hand," the next line itself he says, "Lord, are you not in my heart?" He seeks Bhagavan's assurance. And this is a rhetoric question he is asking Bhagavan. Yes, of course, Bhagavan is in his heart. No, there is no doubt about it. And he asks another question, don't you know everything? Meaning, yes, Bhagavan knows everything. And he falls at the feet and says, I surrender to you. So he sort of pulls himself up, saying that, yes, I know, I do understand, I do not have the money enough to go to Tiruvannamalai and to have your darshan, Bhagavan, but you are always in my heart. You are always in my heart. So this is a phase of this is a little unsteady phase where he is wavering. He wants to go to Tiruvannamalai and have darshan of Bhagavan, but he also feels and understands his inability to do so, and he also knows that where is not Bhagavan? Bhagavan is there everywhere, Sarva Vyapaka. So when Bhagavan is there everywhere, why should I really bother about anything? I can sit anywhere and have Bhagavan with me. So he sort of comes to that conclusion. And while I was reading another song, completely, totally a song which is first, just for the sake of the beauty of the song composed by Prakasam Pillai, I'll just sing the first song quickly and then we can go to the next song. எனக்கு நின் பதமே அல்லால் ஏனைய புகழே இல்லை நினைத்திரு அருணை எய்தி நேரினில் இறஞ்ச கையில் தனமில்லை எனதுளத்தில் தற்பரா நீ இல்லாயோ அனைத்தையும் அறிகில்லாயோ அடியன் நின் அடைக்கலமே. Adaikalam means I surrender, taking refuge at Bhagavan's feet. So he finishes this. All these songs from time to time, from wherever I just set it to the tune, whatever tune that comes to my mind, I was setting all these songs. The next song, he after coming to this stage, again since I was culling everything from totally different sources, there is not necessarily any sequence or order, but I was able to see this sequence for the sake of my own way of understanding Ramana Darshanam. So in the second one, the second song, he is clearly talking about Ramana Darshanam. Now, what is the meaning of Ramana Darshanam? So he says, without realizing the true import of the term Ramana Darshanam, to earn, to lament, and to despair for Ramana Darshanam is folly. My real truth, that is my Swarupa, and the real truth, Swarupa of Bhagavan Ramana, are they not one and the same? They are not different. He brings in an Ananya Bhava here. And then he says, the meaning of Ramana Darshanam is nothing but knowing oneself. Now, from the previous song where he was a little wobbly, he's come to a total conviction that this is exactly what is known as Ramana Darshanam. So he says, without realizing the true import of Ramana Darshanam, why do you want to lament? So Prakasam Pillai makes us understand that the cause of pain of not being able to visit Bhagavan's ashramam whenever one feels like is only because people have not understood the exact meaning of Ramana Darshana, the concept of Ramana Darshanam, what exactly means. Yes, it is of course true. Going to ashram is one of the most beautiful form of Ramana Darshanam, no doubt about it. And it is not necessarily the only form. The ultimate form of Ramana Darshanam is turning within, because Bhagavan has clearly said that in that song, Haryadi itara jivara agavarisa guhail arivairami paramatuma narunachala Ramanan. Bhagavan says, in all the heart of all the beings in the world, starting from Hari, starting from Vishnu, in all their heart, I am the one who shines. Vishnu, in form of Paramatma, Krishna Paramatma says, I am Atma Gudakesha. He says, I am there in all everybody's heart. But when somebody asked Ramana Bhagavan, who is Ramana Bhagavan? Who are you, Bhagavan? He clearly said, I am the one who shines aside. Krishna Paramatma has said, I am the one who shines aside. So what does it all mean? All this means is everything is only one. There is only one thing shining in the heart as I. According to each bhava, each one can call it in whatever name they want. They can call it in the name of Shiva, in the name of Vishnu, in the name of Arunachala, in the name of Ramana Parabrahma, whatever it is. But the ultimate truth is one. And Sivaprakasam Pillai here clearly says that truth of Ramana, whatever is the truth of that Ramana Bhagavan, is my truth also. So, where is the question, or what is the need for me to lament? When I get an opportunity, of course, I will go to ashramam, have darshan of Ramana Bhagavan, and enjoy the presence. But since circumstances are not allowing me, what can I do? So instead of sitting and crying and lamenting that I'm not able to go, I'm not able to go, let me understand what Bhagavan has told. Bhagavan's teaching is more important. Based on the teaching of Bhagavan, backed by his own reflections, that is Mananam, he concludes that Paramatma Bhagavan and others, all other Jivatmas are one and the same. They are Ananya. You come to the ultimate summation of Advaita Vedanta, as taught by Bhagavan, as exposed by Bhagavan. So he clearly says the Jiva Para Aikya is being brought about by Sivaprakasam Pillai in his own thinking. In his own thinking is brought this. So what he concludes the song with saying with conviction that self-realization is what is known as Ramana Darshanam. Not necessarily taking a luxurious way of going to ashramam. If it is possible, excellent. By all means, one should do that. But if it is not possible, what to do? Here in this song, look at the amount of consolation he is able to give to people who are living far away from Bhagavan's from Bhagavan's ashram, far away from the country itself, for that matter. They are all great Ramana devotees. They all earn, but unfortunately, for either want of some hurdle, many hurdles are there, for want of wealth, money, as claimed by Sivaprakasam Pillai, or want of good health, which does not allow some people to travel, or some people does not have the time to travel, but they always have Ramana Bhagavan in the heart. All this is possible. So what a consolation, what a solace people can get from these words of Sivaprakasam Pillai. If you understand the meaning or the import of Ramana Darshanam, wherever you are, you can have Darshanam. Don't worry. So for people who are abroad, especially the devotees who are not able to come for whatever reason, even for us, what strength it gave for me when the entire ashram was locked down for 2 years because of the pandemic and all that. What great! I was able to sit in my house, in my room. I cannot come out of the room also, but still, I know Ramana Bhagavan is fully here, right, fully present within me. So what is the big, why should I really be worried? Let the pandemic take its own course. Let ashram management decide whenever they want to open the ashram for public. Let everything keep happening. But can anything prevent Ramana from being with me? My Ramana Darshanam, can anyone stop my Ramana Darshanam? So Prakasam Pillai gave it so beautifully in this song. And the song is something like this. ரமண தரிசனம் தான் இன்னதென்றுணர்ந்திடாமல் ரமண தரிசனத்திற்கு ஏங்கி நீ தவிப்பதென்னோ ரமண ஸ்வரூபம் தானே என்னுடைய ஸ்வரூபமாகும் ரமண தரிசனம் தான் என்னையான் அறிதலே. The last two lines he clearly says the meaning of Ramana Darshanam is me knowing myself. So from the wobbly first song, in this song where he laments but consoles himself, at the same time understands the truth. Now with conviction he is giving it. He is giving. It was like a vada in the first song. It was like an argument. Now a siddhanta is established in this song. He put his foot down and said, "This is Ramana Darshana." And is that not what Bhagavan also said in that sloka, Hariyadi Itara Jivana? So he has completely come to the conclusion. And then there is another standalone song called Ramanopadesam by Sivaprakasam Pillai, which used to be, which is a very, very. We saw in that work called Ramana Vachana Saram, the one sheet work, where the entire sum and substance of Bhagavan's teaching was completed in one sheet. In this song, he condenses it even further in just one song. He gives the entire teaching of Bhagavan, which also means the entire teaching of Vedanta. Advaita has been condensed in such a small way that if one meaningfully understands this one song and practices it, understanding is one, sitting in practice is one. If one sits and practices, the entire volumes of 108 Upanishads has been done. You don't need them, because this is Bhagavan's teaching, and the reflection of Bhagavan's teaching by one of the great devotees of Bhagavan, Sri Sivaprakasam Pillai. So in this song, he says, I'll sing the song first before I get the meaning. உலன் என்றும் பொறி என்றும் சித்தம் என்றும் புத்தி என்றும் மனம் என்றும் அகதை என்றும் மலம் என்றும் விளம்பு பொருள் ஆய்தல் விட்டு மல உடலில் உறக்கத்தில் இன்மையாலே நிலைமையுறும் அறிவுருவாய் எப்போதும் நான் நிற்கையால் உடலம் நான் எனும் மயக்கை விளக்கி அச்சித்ஸ்வரூபம் யாதென்றுள் மூழ்கி மெய்யுணர்க ரமணோபதேசம் ஈதே. Says the spiritual instruction is like this: due to the absence or non-perception of this putrid body, this filthy body, during deep sleep, give up the inquiry into all things that constitutes the body and its paraphernalia, like objects of senses, the five sense organs, memory, intellect, the ego, the impurities hankering the knowledge of self. Give up all this. And because of the existence of I firmly in all three states continuously, remove the delusion of identifying the self with the body, mind, etc., and contemplate on what the conscious self is by turning inward. This is exactly what Bhagavan taught in the Who Am I? We study Who Am I? What did he say? Turn inwards and focus on yourself. வெளி விஷயங்களை விட்டு மனம் தன் ஒளியுறு ஓர்தலே, leave out externalities. He has completely summarized the whole thing in one song, and he says, because this body is not felt during deep sleep. We all know that during deep sleep, mind is gone. So the body itself is the makeup of a mind. There is nothing called body other than mind. And there is nothing called a world other than mind, according to Bhagavan. According to Advaita, according to Bhagavan, emphatically, he says, when the mind is not there, there is no world. So that is where can world hang in balance? No, mind is essential for world. Similarly, mind is essential for body. And during deep sleep, mind is gone, body is gone. Because this body is gone during deep sleep, it is not permanent. As we have seen in one of the sessions before, one of the definition of truth, lakshana of truth, is that in all three states, it should shine forth. In all three states, or any state of consciousness, what is permanently there, that is truth. And accepting our own I, nothing, the original I, the pristine pure I, not the rising I, accepting that nothing can be permanently be available in all states of consciousness. This I is there. And this I knows itself, as we have seen plenty of times. The Sat and the Chit are one and the same. So here he says, because the body, the five sense body made up of five sheets called Annamaya Kosa, the food body, Pranamaya Kosa, the breath, the body of breath, the sheath of breath, Manonmaya Kosa, the mind body, Vijnanamaya Kosa, the intellect body, Anandamaya Kosa, the darkness that prevails during deep sleep, because all of them are not available during deep sleep. None of them are there. And during deep sleep, deep dreamless sleep, so because they are not there, why should you inquire about them? Because we have already understood they are not true. So what is not true? Why should we waste our time? People in science, people in various in contemporary life, today's life, let them do. They are all taking some non-existing thing and doing years and years and years, generations and generation of research and all that, thinking that it is doing betterment to mankind. They need it at this time, because they have come, until they come to this path, accept the path and come to this path, all this is needed. Who does not need all this? Now, even to to communicate, we need this 4G, we need this 5G and all that. That was invented by a scientist, and he has put it in place and all that is there. But for Sivaprakash Pillai, almost he did not need anything. He was always able to, with vairagya, sit right in a crematorium, nothing else, and do his manana, do his vichara in his town. Because that is one place nobody will stop him from going. He'll always be there like a madman. Bhagavan, did he need anything? Like that. People who have come to the level, elevated level, they will not need all this. We will still need. We are using certain things for certain purpose, but God sent will be able to throw all this out sooner than later. And that, let it happen in its own course. Our prarabdha will determine how things will unfold. So he says, give up all the sense objects, thinking about the sight, taste, sound, smell, and tactile sensations. These are the objects of senses. And the organs of senses, the eye, tongue, ear, nose, and skin, which gains the knowledge of the above mentioned objects. And memory, memory is gone in deep sleep. Intellect, what happens to all the most renowned scientist or the most highest philosophical thinker during his deep sleep? He is not a thinker anymore. He and the mud and a block of wood lying next to him come to one same state. There is, because consciousness is permeating even in that wood. Only thing, there is no medium to express the consciousness. Consciousness is there in Jivatma, in the so-called human, in all animals, in all beings, consciousness is there because everything is consciousness only. So that is Sarvatma Bhavam. That is why Bhagavan says, Ennuru Yavam Irai Uruvamene Endi Valipadal Undi Para. All the 8 forms of God is there everywhere. So see God in every form. So here, in the case of, in this particular case, since all of them are not available, they are during the deep sleep, they are not true. So when something is not true, why should we go behind that entity which is not a true entity? So he says, he comes to that immediately. First he says, give up all this. He has done enough and more of all this research. As I told you, he has written 84 songs in that composition I mentioned earlier. Muppurul Iyal, the nature of the 3 entities, that is Jivapara and Jagajivapara, all the 3 entities. He was doing all that. But because he did all that, because he knew that nothing is taking him anywhere near the truth, he is able to give a conviction here based on Bhagavan's teaching. None of them will take you anywhere. In fact, they will totally take you in the opposite direction. This is what he says here, saying that because they are not true, give them up. And because the I firmly as consciousness always exists in all states. Now, that is the truth. Now you need to catch hold of the truth. How do we catch hold of the truth? Based on Bhagavan's teaching, he clearly says, remove the delusion of identifying the self with the body. Give that confusion. Give up that confusion and contemplate on what the conscious self is by turning inwards, meaning keenly focusing on the feeling called I. We have always seen it in many studies before. That thing, this is called the inquiry, who am I? Turning inward. Inward means not body. Don't take body as the base. That also we have seen in Ekatma Panchakam, in every other place. Just turn yourself, your attention towards the feeling called I. Stay focused on that feeling called I. Don't rise up from that. This is all we need to do. And he says, and realize the truth. That is, what is the truth? You are never the body, you are always the self. Establish that fact in your mind. Strongly establish in your mind. And he says, this alone is the spiritual instruction or advice given by Ramana Bhagavan. Nothing else will come now. So, this is all teaching. I mean, what is the Ramana Darshanam? By means of this inquiry, by means of this third sloka, where he gives the method of doing the sadhana, that is dropping all non-truth, staying put on the truth by keen attention to the feeling of I, self, and that is known as Ramana Darshanam. Because we'll not be focusing on the ego that is rising, rather we'll be focusing on Ramana that is shining within our heart. And in the first song, he gave us understand that surrender to Bhagavan. That is enough. So there is a logical sequence that I was able to see through in all these three songs. There, like a thread running through a series of beats. And first, don't lament about your inability to go to Ramanashramam to have darshan. If it is possible, please do by all means. Otherwise, don't waste your time, thinking of that forever, and not being productive in any way. Instead, surrender to Bhagavan. Step one. Step two, he says, have the total conviction. He is given that this is exactly what is known as Ramana Darsana Tatvam. Ramana Darshana means be seeing Ramana in your heart, within yourself, knowing that Ramana is the one that is shining. And in the third song, he's given the method of how to do it, how to do that, achieve that state, and stay in Ramana forever and forever and forever. So, such is the beauty of the composition of Siva Prakasam Pillai. And I would say all of us are fortunate. Very few, as of now, I would say only these people here know that these three songs exist at all. Nobody else knows a word about this song. I've just created a video which I'll be posting probably this afternoon. Almost everything is done. I need to put some pictures of Bhagwan, etc. And so the recording is done. The whole thing, everything. The video itself is ready, so I'll be posting it. But I feel very happy that I was, and I also, all of us are blessed to get the works of Siva Prakasam Pillai in hand. And slowly we'll be exploring from time to time each one, because each one is got a brilliant meaning, but all of them will ultimately come to the same point: know yourself. Because Siva Prakasam Pillai was not wavering. He knew he first in 1902, he took the instruction from Bhagavan. From there on, he progressed till he lived his bodily life, which was till 1948. And in 1948, when the bodily demise of Siva Prakasam Pillai was brought to Bhagavan's notice, he said, Siva Prakasam Pillai, Siva Prakasamana. Our Siva Prakasam Pillai has become the light of Shiva himself. Bhagavan uttered this word. It's not, Bhagavan will not in general say all this about many people, but he clearly referred, Siva Prakasam Pillai has become the light of Shiva. With such is the greatness, and I've just, in the starting, I've sent the PDF file of the entire content of whatever I spoke today, and you can read it again and again. It's so simple, but it's so powerful. So it's a very small. It contains only 8 pages, and that too because of the Tamil prose text that I had to give, and the English transliteration also I've provided. And in the video, the song that we three have recorded is also featured. So I would like to ask if anyone wants to ask anything based on what we have studied today. It was such a simple concept we all know, but it is based on the years and years and years of one pointed attention and focus of Shiva Prakasam Pillai, based on the grace of Bhagavan. Arunachala, Arunachala, Arunachala.
Just wanted to add words, sir. We have a beautiful word in Telugu, Ardrata. When you pray God, that is one thing which makes all the difference for you to feel close to God. I don't know what is the right word for it in English, but when you were talking about Ramana Darshanam, the songs that you were quoting, it was just the reflection of what it meant. Very nice, sir. Thank you so much.
Arunachala, Arunachala, Arunachala.
Actually, we were looking for this. Sir. Yesterday, I was talking to someone, and he was so frustrated. Probably, I need to send this to him immediately. I already sent to him.
Very good.
Uh, so exactly whatever he felt, I got the answer from these things. Of course, this is implies to me also, but right time means when we asked while we are in frustrated means high in that thing. I got the answer from this thing. Very simple. Thank you very much.
Arunachala Vasuji, exactly as Jagdish Garu said, okay, all the time we want to be physically present in Arunachalam and with Ramana at Ramanashramam. Okay, when we uh, go about it, means think like Suprakasham Pillai Garu has done. Okay, at least start and believe in his things. That frustration and all the other things, what we are going through, the anger, frustration, and everything, okay, it should come down, literally. Exactly, the same word, frustration. This is what especially Nagesh and I go through, and Jagdish Garu. Okay, we all face this when we cannot physically be present. Okay, what all has been given to us, we are not looking at that, but we are looking at what we are not able to do. Okay, so this is really today's session is each and every session, each and every word is the most auspicious and meaningful thing. But today's this thing that takes away at least, okay, practice that we sometimes we think, okay, Ramana is with us only, Arunachala is with us only. So many people who are far away from Arunachala, okay, they attained moksham or Atma Sakshatkara, whatever it is, okay, they never thought that they should be physically present in Arunachalam only or in the Ramanashramam only. So many people they came out and they did beautiful service by spreading the message of Ramana. Okay, so at least by being uh, uh, fortunate to know Ramana and Arunachala means to be present there, we should at least start following these people like me, especially. So, thank you so much, Vasuji. Thank you so much.
Arunachala, Arunachala.